Hello everyone and welcome back to Self-Serving Skillet. Today I'm going to make you some amazingly rich and decadent cookies sent in to me by a subscriber. Continuing on with our month of ricotta cheese without a drop of pasta in sight, ricotta cookies. And this recipe was sent to me by a subscriber. Thank you, Tom, for sharing this recipe with me. And it was the inspiration for this entire series. The recipe he sent me was in volumetric measurements, and I cut it down to suit sort of one person and their needs. And the thing I noticed when I was converting it into weight is that all of my major ingredients are just around the same weight. So I have half a stick of butter, which is around 115 grams, and I also have half a cup of sugar, which is also around 110 grams. Now I'm just going to cream those together like I would any other cookie. A couple of forks. They do make specific tools for these, but I don't like a lot of stuff in my kitchen. Really depends on how much I would be using it. Room temperature is just fine. Have a little foresight, leave some butter out. You'll thank yourself later. I'm going to beat up one egg. And for this, I really only want about half an egg. The star of the show, about 4 ounces. Or again, around 115 grams of ricotta cheese. A half a teaspoon of vanilla, quarters teaspoon baking soda, and a pinch of salt. Last ingredient in is a cup of flour, which, you guessed it, 120 grams. Now, the recipe doesn't specifically say it, but I do like to let my dough rest a little bit. This is going to do a couple things. This is going to allow the flour to fully hydrate and also cool it down a little bit. Then it's just going to be easier to work with and portion out on the baking sheet. While we're waiting for that to chill down a little bit, I have here 2 ounces of butter and 2 ounces of cream cheese, or around 60 grams each. I'm going to cream both of those together, then I'm going to add a cup or around 120 grams of powdered sugar. I find it interesting, this recipe was sent to me and it specified margarine for the cookies and it specified butter for the frosting. And I understand that margarine does something that's just a little bit different to your cookies, and some people will swear by it or swear by a margarine and butter mixture. But all that margarine is a hydrogenized vegetable oil, and that sounds fine. That sounds like, hey, vegetables. Let's fry it with some vegetables. But it's not actually made with a carrot. It's made with vegetable seeds, which is also fine. But the way things are written today, a lot of these vegetables that appear in vegetable oil, as well as like canola products, soy products, unless they tell you that they're non-GMO or they're organic, these things are going to have GMOs in them. And that's not something that I personally want. You feel free to live your own life. Self-Serving Skillet is not here to tell you how to live your life. So this is the reason I like the metric system and that I like a scale. I can just say the number that I want, and there's no extra scoop to clean. Now this was the recipe as it was given to me, and that's good. That's a good icing. I did feel like when I made it before, it was missing a little bit something, so I'm gonna add this time just a tablespoon of lemon juice and we'll see how that does. And that might be all I needed. That's a really welcome addition. I want to keep this kind of moist until my cookies are ready to be frosted. So I'm just going to throw some wrap over that. Here's a good tip. If you can't get your cling wrap to cling, try wetting the rim just a little bit. There we go. Clingy cling wrap. It's firmed up a little. It's been about an hour since I put it in. I've already preheated my oven to 350 Fahrenheit, around 180 Celsius. And one of the great things about cookies is that I could make 4 cookies with this dough, or I could make 12. I could even make 18. But the smaller I go, the less time I'm going to need to make the cookie and the less margin for error I have. So I'm going to go for around 8. When they are done, they should feel a little hollow, a little like there's less weight there than you anticipated from the size. Also, this very pleasant brown, this nice caramelization of the cookies where they met the pan is also a really good indication. I'm gonna let these cool for just 20 minutes or so, and then I'll ice them. This icing is a little bit thick for what I want to do. It's already room temperature, so I'm going to throw a dab of milk in it. Just a dab of milk. And what I want are sort of loose peaks. There we go. That's very nice. I'm going to let these harden into something that's just a little bit crisp, loses a little bit of its moisture, and then we will celebrate the channel's 2nd anniversary. Guys, this means a lot to me. Self-Serving Skillet has been on YouTube now for 2 years, and it is the project that I have just fallen in love with. I absolutely love creating content for this channel, so if you absolutely love that I'm creating content for this channel, please subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're getting any value out of my videos, please just like any videos that you're getting any sort of value out of, and then it lets YouTube know that I'm doing a good job. And leave a comment, leave a suggestion, leave a recipe. This recipe came from a subscriber that saw my ricotta cheese video and said, hey, here's another thing that I know how to make with ricotta. Let's try this cookie. It almost doesn't need the frosting. And I would advise you to make the frosting, especially with the little bit of lemon juice that I added, just because it's so wonderful. And it sort of has all of the flavors of like Christmas time sugar cookie, which I never really got into, and just really elevates it with this sort of moist, cakey, decadent, elegant cookie. Cheers, guys. I really appreciate everything that you've done for me in the past 2 years, and here's to a great year 3.